All right, so this is Moore's Elite's game in the Kiev. Now, the Kiev is the Tier 8 Russian destroyer, gunboat destroyer. Um, Probably my favorite ship in this game. Um, Everybody finds a ship that they jive well with, and for me, this ship and we just click, right? So, Moore's Elite requested this replay review. She's a very fun boat, yes. Now, she's got 8-kilometer torpedoes, and her concealment is right around 8 kilometer. So, she's really good at stealth torping ships that are chasing her, because Russian torpedoes do good damage. They also don't exactly have the greatest in the way of detection, and they're pretty fast. So, Eve is a lot of fun. Her guns are very comfortable as well as 130 millimeters. Really good ballistics. Generally, you choose to run her with heal instead of smoke. And she's fast as well. It's like a motorboat that has guns and torps as well to boot. So you've upgraded everything except for the gunfire control for the extra range. And if you can look at that, your range is a paltry 12 and a quarter with the upgrade. You're at 11.15 without. That extra kilometer does give you a lot of wiggle room. So I'd say you definitely want to grab the upgrade if you can. In terms of your modules here, you've got main armaments mod 1, engine room protection, main battery, propulsion, and concealment. Personally, I would drop main battery in favor of aiming systems. I think it's much more important that you get your targets, your shells on target, than turning your guns. To me, this is indicative of somebody who constantly changes sides. If you're that person, Moore's Elite, don't be that person. The Kiev, the guns turn pretty quickly themselves as it is. 16.1 seconds is relatively quick. So I don't know that you need main battery modification too. If you were to drop that for aiming systems, it's 18 seconds. Most of the time, if you're playing at range, your turrets are pointed in a specific direction and they're not changing from that direction. So I feel like that's a bit of a waste here. I think it's a missed opportunity. Aiming systems was probably the better choice.
It's tricky. Like 18 seconds is not great, especially if when you get closer in a fight later on, and he's running a concealment build as it looks like, so he's probably eventually being closer, and then the 18 seconds is not comfortable. On the other hand, if you play that range and you farm, you kind of notice the difference in the dispersion too, so you really want the aiming systems as well.
Right, exactly. Rudder shift time is under 5 seconds, so going propulsion makes perfect sense here. Now concealment. With concealment system, your concealment is 7 kilometers just underneath, which allows you to stealth fire torpedoes. Personally, if I remember right, I run rudder here. And the reason I run rudder is twofold. One, if my concealment is greater, I have less of a risk of derping into an enemy because I know that I'm detected earlier, therefore I turn out earlier and make evasive maneuvers earlier. And the reason that's important is you don't want people shooting at you when you're very close to them. You want them shooting at you when you're far away from them. So concealment actually might be hurting you here, right? You might be better off going for the rudder shift. What is your rudder shift right now? Oh my god, 3 seconds? That's sexy. Now, I don't remember personally if I run concealment or not. The other thing about concealment module is it does impact the dispersion of shells that are attacking you by 5%. So that can come in handy. Again, at range, it comes in handier than up close.
I do run the rudder shift, but if your captain isn't very high and you don't have it set up for the long range build, which he doesn't,
Right.
then I think going for the concealment
Mm-hmm.
and playing it a little bit closer is probably worth it.
Now, you've got a choice between a heal and a smoke. Moore's Elite, hey, welcome home. And you chose a smoke. I disagree with this. I think you're far better off with a heal. Moore's Elite, is this a special captain or a standard one? Looking at your captain build, you've got preventative maintenance into last stand, into adrenaline rush, into concealment experts. Here's what I would do differently. I would run concealment experts here, but I would not run it here.
No, you can't do that with 11-point Captain South. You're getting murdered.
What are you talking about?
I think if he has that, like it's a 10-point captain, right?
Yes.
So I think going for the full concealment with smoke, if you only have a 10-point captain, is actually the correct way to play it. Because that way you can get closer, you can smoke up and can farm. If you try to farm long range with
Of course,
such
Morris,
a
yes.
low point captain, it's probably not gonna work out.
So here's how I would build my Kiev. I would go for the main battery and anti-air expert, so you increase your firing range, main battery. And that takes you out to 1336. With this, it takes you almost to 15 kilometer. Comes in really handy. Hey, Moore's Elite.
If you do that, then you can take the rudder shift if you have the long range and truly play it long range. It makes you really, really weak close though. Like if you're the only destroyer in a game, you might struggle with this build. Like
I would take the range. I would take range on a captain build and then take concealment on the on the
module
slot.
Yep.
Yeah, that gives you the best balance. So if you get up tiered, you can just play a long range. If you get top like 6 to 8, then you can play closer.
Okay,
what's
more
your concealment now with this setup? Like 7-2?
It's like 8 roughly.
Yeah. You're not playing this ship to be stealthy.
I don't like it. Like, I think you either go full concealment or you go no concealment. Going half-half, I think is...
We're also dealing with an 11-point captain. You have to make compromises somewhere.
And what I like about this is you can actually stealth torpedo something. So there's a lot of benefits here. I get that the other concealment would help, but I think you get a lot more flexibility with the range. But Moore's Elite, hey, go ahead and speak. You've been waiting.
Oh, no worries. So the captain build, like I'm just used to playing like standard stealth DD builds.
Okay.
It is a fresh captain, just like throw it on the tier 5, and it got him up to tier 10, so I can at least get 4 of the skills. I'm mainly just grinding the line to grind it. I'm like just grinding the grind pretty much. So that's why it's like a 4-point or to 11-point captain, whatever. But mainly it was the gameplay, like with how I was playing and stuff like that. So I didn't know that this line specifically was more of a long range like gun build.
Yes.
I know that the stealth is horrible on this ship line. But I didn't think of that playstyle, so I'll definitely change that up.
And remember, the stealth being horrible actually helps you, much like the pan-European destroyers, the gunboat ones. Because if you get yourself discovered, then you know to back off and be more cautious. If you go full concealment, you just get too deep into the enemy, and then you get yourself killed.
That has been happening a few times.
That's why I like a little bit less concealment, a little bit more gun range. It gives you so much more flexibility in how you want to play. All right, and then flag-wise, you just have anti-det and speed. Fair enough.
Just conserving for clan battles and stuff like that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Is there a death pick in this game, by the way?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So this is Trident. You are top tier. There's 2 carriers. And you said something to me about trying to think about how to play the ship with carriers. Because there's carriers involved, I am immediately thinking of going out to the flanks. Between the 2 flanks, which would you go off to? Probably the C flank. No, cancel that, the A flank. The
That
reason
is not what I did.
Now, the reason I say the A flank is because there's 1 destroyer at A, and there's a sub. I don't consider this sub a destroyer, right? So there's 1 destroyer at A, there's 2 destroyers at C. You can absolutely go for the B cap early. You're not going to cap it, though, unless the enemy team completely agrees to ignore it. The chances of this happening are extremely low.
Yeah, I personally like playing a destroyer. Like, I hate leaving a cap to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely not used to, like, flanking, per se.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, my preferred play style as a destroyer captain is definitely, like, cap contesting and, like, being in the mix.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with it, but this is the wrong line for that.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta forget this.
I've definitely, like I said earlier, I've definitely, like, gone down, like, several matches because I'm just like, man, like,
You can do
I'm
that
trying to
in-
play that. Go ahead.
You can do that in the other destroyer line, especially in the Grossevoy, because you get your concealment down. If
Yeah,
you select for it. But
that was actually
Kiev,
the last-
Tashkent,
all right.
Nope. You're not going to be very successful if you try to play it like a standard destroyer.
Nope.
Gotcha.
So-
It's pretty much a cruiser without a citadel, correct?
Yes.
That's a better way of looking.
All right.
You want people to shoot at you, and you need to think about it from that perspective. If they're shooting at you, 1, they're not shooting at their teammates. 2, they're getting themselves detected. And then hopefully 3, they're being shot at by your teammates and killed. That's how you play
Alright.
You
Kiev.
have to. You
Have you played
that's
French
it.
destroyers?
I have. I actually really enjoyed that line.
It's very similar.
So similar play style,
more-
just go ahead.
It's more like French destroyers, except for the set instead of the saturation, you get the heal or the smoke.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And technically, between the 2,
beginner-friendly
heals.
version.
Yeah, heals the better choice. You can smoke if you need to. But yeah, you're a buzzing wasp. Exactly right. Now, somebody said something about the Google Doc. I'm looking at my Google Doc. Preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, main battery range, fearless brawler, adrenaline rush, main battery reload by 10%, whatever that's called, and boss, whatever. And then finally, incoming fire alert.
Oh, also, you got lucky here,
Hmm.
but when you saw that
Yeah.
Shiratsuyu, and 99% of the time he will torpedo you. You literally just double
Yeah.
back into it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't think about that whenever I was in the match.
Why AP
So
here?
here I'm. I just figure I really don't know, like, the line per se. I just figure 130s is a broadside Nuremberg, or broadside. Just habits from other lines.
That was a Nuremberg. I think the AP was fine. I would have taken a chance here too.
The only reason I bring that up is just because if you're not paying close attention, you could be wasting a lot of time that you could be shooting at things because you're too busy changing the ammunition in your barrels. So
All right.
when I play this ship, generally I'm HE 75% of the time I'm shooting. When I switch to AP is when somebody gives me a broadside, or if I really just want to piss off a cruiser or something. Very rarely do I aggressively change to AP in this ship. Like I said, unless I know I've got a really good chance to chunk something.
Yeah.
A Nuremberg at that range, whatever.
Nuremberg won't take citadels from destroyer caliber shells, but you'll do more damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The thing is, it's a Nuremberg. He died anyway. What happened to him? He got himself blapped and one-shotted, essentially, anyways, and Dev struck, so...
Classic Nuremberg.
Classic Nuremberg, right.
Like, this is like the situation where Kiev would thrive on. Like you have a little bit more range and you just farm the crap out of this Collinwood.
In this case,
Yeah.
you would want to be on the other side of the island where you're at right now. You'd want to be behind the island, not in front of it. You come out of the island, you can shoot him, you can run away if needed. Instead, you've got smoke. You've decided that you want to smoke the cap and you want to shoot the Collingwood together. Great. You're doing it the wrong order. Smoke first, stop, then shoot. You shot first.
Yeah.
You're smoking. You're telling the entire enemy team, hey guys, I'm going to back up right here. So that could attract Shiratsuyu torpedoes. It could attract Collingwood shots. Like it could attract, well, just about everybody else is already leaving the area, so I guess that's all you have to worry about. But still, I don't like it.
It's mostly the torp.
It's in general, right? The problem with farming from smoke that it attracts the torpedoes.
Yes.
Yeah, aka smoke being the quote unquote idiot trap. Definitely been in that situation a few times.
And it's even worse in this case here because like not only are you shooting from smoke, you're also capping, which
Right.
which amplifies the whole thing.
So I played the Kiev a lot with smoke back when it could only take smoke when it was a tier 7 in ranked battles. And what I found was the smoke is really good at disengaging. If you need to run away from a target, you pop your smoke and then, you disengage because the enemy loses vision on you.
Go for the Balefire.
Don't think of smoke necessarily as something that you're going to sit and farm in like an American destroyer. And I agree, you're aiming too high here. Aim lower, try to get bow fires. You won't penetrate necessarily, but you will start fires.
All right. Yeah, I was going for. I was aiming just for damage at that point because I already had one fire on him.
Mm-hmm.
You're also like with the whole smoke shooting thing, like you're running into a little bit of a problem right now because you kind of have to kill him before he proxies you.
That's right, or your smoke
also,
runs out.
Your torps out early.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of left your smoke, but thankfully.
I mean,
That was on
he's
purpose.
He's hydroed anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of risk involved with farming from smoke, especially if you do it early, which is another reason why the heal is preferred.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Heal's generally recommended, but that being said, I did take smoke my Tashkent. It comes really down to knowing your strengths and limitations. Heal's better overall, but it is what it is.
Some people are better with smoke.
Okay.
Some people you need to get comfortable in ships without the smoke, right?
Why are you
not comfortable? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Like if you're not comfortable open water firing and playing this type of style, then smoke is probably the better choice for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you manage to get yourself used to not having smoke and playing with heal, I think it unlocks a whole other level of potential on the ship.
One thing I like about this ship, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of different ways you can play her.
Yeah,
All right.
it's pretty versatile. Like, for example, if you used to heal there, you would have never been able to take the cap.
Right. Now you're flipping your guns, and that tells me you're planning on heading southward. Why are you going to head southward here?
I didn't want to run directly into those destroyers. They're
Okay.
what is that? The Vasteris and Shiratsuyu.
But
So,
why not?
Why are you worried?
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
it's your
whoa.
job to kill them.
It's but again, I just don't know this line. I didn't know that. Obviously, everybody keeps saying that the hill was better. I'm comfortable with the open water gunboating. I just didn't know this it was a better play style for this ship type. I am more comfortable in American destroyers. That's why I'm playing it like one.
Yep.
My favorite
Okay.
line is the British DE line, playing hit and run style, smoke to egress and stuff like that.
So
yeah, good.
right now, you've got a chance, and you probably haven't noticed this. You've got a chance to get in their backfield and cause all kinds of hell. And the reason I say that is important is because if you're in the backfield causing problems, the enemy team is going to waste a lot of time and resources trying to get rid of you. That's your job. You think of the Kiev, you are a troll ship. You troll the enemy. So you go north here, and you go after the Shokaku especially if you can. If not, at least Furious. Most likely one of those two cruiser or carriers is at A5 behind the big island. You go straight at them. You tie up their airstrikes. They can't be striking your team because they're too busy striking you. You're a smart dude. If you see torpedo bombers coming, you turn and dodge. Shokaku's got AP dive bombers. You really don't care about those. The rockets, you probably don't care about those for the Furious or Shokaku. You just be smart and turn. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a pretty open line towards the CVs.
Yep.
Like, the only thing that could come in the way would be one of the destroyers, which you'd be very happy to have close to you and take them out.
Also, because I play the Kiev so much, this also is a fantastic opportunity to luck chuck torpedoes north of the B cap, either between the ship and the island or to the right of the ship that's sinking right now. Either way, you've got a great opportunity to luck chuck torps. You probably won't need them at A cap. You might as well dump them out.
Gotcha.
Oh,
also,
look.
this has an excellent torpedo reload.
Exactly. I mean, look at that. Shiratsu just got himself detected smoking up right there. If he wasn't detected, I mean, hey, he's right there anyways, right?
Yes. So here, I was just thinking, get back with my teammates and try and support them, the Nuremberg, the California. Mainly, I saw the submarine, the U-69, and
But
just
you
trying
can't
to
go
support
off
them
of
and
it.
screen against that guy.
Problem is you don't have any tools to screen. You don't have the Hydra.
It's the mentality that I developed playing every other line.
Yep.
Like better stealth and all that stuff. And it's just a bad habit to break.
It's actually the worst thing that could happen for you that the submarine keeps you perma spotted here.
So, as a Russian destroyer, you are a bully, and your job is to get the enemy team to drop what they are doing and come after you. The more people are coming after you, the better job you are doing in this ship. And that's why I like running priority target on this ship, even though it's not in the recommended build, because it tells me just how good I'm trolling the enemy team. If you get them to chase you, they're not chasing your team. They're not causing problems for your team. You're smoking right in front of a Duke of Yuck?
And in front of torpedoes.
Yeah, and everything you wanted to support is dead, so
Yeah.
you're basically relying on your CV to even spot so you can keep shooting.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which at this point, because of your position...
That was just... Say that again, I'm sorry?
Because of your position, the carriers will naturally spot anyways for you, so that works, but... Look at the Borodino, man. You could be gunning down that short sea right now.
You should be using AP on that broadside.
Okay.
Especially when this DCP is up.
So if you know that the person DCP'd the fire, using AP is a better idea, because you're not going to start a fire, is what SAT's trying to say.
That's one part. And two, your AP does a lot of damage.
True.
It's one of the more underutilized parts about the Russian destroyer line. That AP is very good.
Yep. Alright, well, at this point, if you want to win, you need to kill the Marker and the Vasteras. Forget the Duke of Yuck. He doesn't matter.
Trying to remember who killed those two.
Slow down and reverse here.
Yeah.
So I was worried about the
Because,
submarine.
Torps, mostly.
His CV is in trouble.
Right.
And so I think he needs to actually be out there and go towards the CV and intercept that Vasteras.
The reason I was suggesting slowing down is simply to try to stay behind the island a little bit more.
Yep.
You always have the engine boost available.
All right.
You may as well keep firing.
What are you afraid of at this point?
I'm just trying to...
You're not
I was
going
just fucking
dark. because
Yeah.
there's 2 CVs still, and they have nothing else to attack.
Right.
Ugh.
Not to mention
Touche.
the score, like your team desperately needs kills.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, as I said, I would have gone towards the Lexington because right now the Lexington is in big trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can
Gamer
finish
words in
off
chat.
Stupid Yuck and Vasteros. That will take out 2 ships right there.
Mm-hmm. It just comes down to, your comfort level with the ship. You said it's new to you.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where, after a while, like I said, this is such a fantastic ship. You'll get there. It takes a while.
I will say I feel like if the America had you'll see what happens. Like this is where stuff gets like spicy for me. If the America had pushed, we would have lost this game.
Well,
So I'm just trying to figure out what I could. So I see like what I did. I could have pushed Shiratsu and other destroyer earlier in the match.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving a lot of respect for that Merker.
You're also being too respectful against other destroyers. You crushed them in fights. Heal or no heal.
Absolutely. If you get them to open up on you, you've won. It's just a matter of time. Especially in a 1v1 situation.
All right. Again, it's just not knowing this like ship line, like how it plays.
Did you
I
play
guess...
the previous ones? Like, did you play the Vince and the Gnevi?
I did, but I'm just like blue boosting through them. I'm just trying to get all the tier 10s, honestly. Go ahead.
There's a little bit concerned with crushing them though, because like he doesn't have the survivability expert and he doesn't have the BFT. And he doesn't have Fearless Brawler either. So his hit point pool isn't as great as it could be and his damage isn't as high it could be.
Well, he also can use range to his advantage, because once he opens up the range, destroyers will struggle to hit him, whereas his ballistics means he has no problem.
Except he can't because he only has 11-1. He doesn't have the gunfire control. He doesn't have the range.
I'm talking about against destroyers, not against larger ships.
Yeah, like right now, Vasteros is going to be focused too much on the Lexington. So you've actually got a good opportunity to shoot down the Vasteros right now for basically free.
That's actually like what I'm working towards right now. So
you should open up right now already. Like get him to shoot you because your CV is super low. You don't want your CV to die.
Correct.
Or you could let him die. It's okay either way. But anyway,
that's to all CVs.
Yeah, you can hit Vasteros no problem at even 9-10 kilometers. And I Shokaku bomber, you should not even pay attention to it. It's AP dive bombers. What's it gonna do? It'll you?
If it was a Lexington dive bomber, okay, I'd be concerned. He's not. Even a Furious level bomber is probably not a big deal. If he sets you on fire, DCP it. You're not worried about it. Now, it's 3 against 4. Your Furious is very advanced in his positioning. This could work out in your favor if you can spot the enemy sub and auto ASW it. That could work very well. You've done a nice job of preventing your Lexington from getting killed, which is huge.
Worst comes to worst, you can eat up his time by having the carriers try to finish off Lexington, or they go after you and never kill Lexington.
Yep.
So that's very important.
Yep.
So at this point, I am focused on getting back into B. I'm worried about the Merker and the sub getting in there. So just heads up, that's where I'm heading.
Okay. I paused it here.
My thought process for the match. Go ahead.
I paused it here because this is also an opportunity for you to play a mind game. You have just been detected, and detection has fallen off. This is your perfect opportunity to flip your guns to the right and turn hard left here. The only reason I suggest considering hard left is what you might find. Furious and Shokaku, maybe one of the other ships along with it, but at least those two. And believe it or not, you can actually kill both of them without too much struggle.
Oh,
And
That's debatable.
And while you're doing that, your guns are also pointed towards the B cap. Should the Furious detect anything, they're ready to go. Versus right now.
Here's the problem I have with that play though. Like, yes, you can turn left, you can kill both CVs, but if you do that, you are most likely going to lose the B cap, your Furious, and the C cap.
The
And
possibility.
I'm not sure if the math works out.
There's only 5 minutes left in this game.
It's more problem is that you don't have the health to make it a good gamble. Like it's very risky. Furious can hit.
The Merker is still there. There were just shells coming from there, so that's good knowledge.
So
Which means I wouldn't turn
back
towards
off.
that side.
Yeah, once you saw the Mercurier shoot at you from there, I just back off and just use that island there. And if they want the B cap, they have to get at you, and you have a Furious there that can smoke, that can spot.
So by using the island, you mean be on the other side of the island from where he is right now?
Yep.
I would just top that gap here.
In case the marker comes right after you.
Yeah.
Yep,
Just
that's
set
fine.
the torps in there.
Also, use your guns on the sub.
it was under.
Okay.
You should have launched the torps by now. It's like, what are you
Yeah, I
waiting
don't remember what I was waiting for. I don't know why I didn't launch them.
Like, you have a lot of things happening here. You need to be more decisive in what actions you take.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you were a little overwhelmed, weren't quite sure what to do. Now you're gonna go try to save your Furious.
Also, that's a Furious level bomber. You should have smoked immediately.
Because...
Yeah, that is, like, kind of what gets me killed.
That's the biggest threat for you right now.
Yep.
Hey, look!
Unfortunately,
The carrier's auto ASW did the thing. Smoke here would be a good idea.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is where
I
smoke is actually super useful.
Yeah, I
Because
smoked way too late. I was just trying to dodge and, like, save my smoke in case
was wondering-
Yeah.
I just wonder if you forgot you had smoke.
No. I was trying to save it, and this is...
For what?
just in case America came up.
Well, he did.
Like, it's like, that's a little bit too greedy there. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, you're way ahead on points, so you need to survive. That's your priority. Second, if you smoke right there, then Mercurius still has to charge you because they have no radar.
Yep.
So why are you saving it for the Mercurier? Because you could just save it earlier and let him come to you anyways.
Yeah.
You might have actually been fine if you don't smoke and just keep going, but
Yep.
but slowing down.
Stopping
and
actually made it
then-
easier for the carrier to drop you.
Yeah.
And the marker to hit you too with guns.
But no, with my health pool like so late before getting into B, that's why I was saying earlier, if the America had pushed like more aggressively, I would have gone down like way sooner.
Yeah, but he didn't. And that's not your immediate threat. You had literally two carriers wanting you dead. That's a worthy use of smoke right there.
Right.
And actually would have been better than heal.
Also, if the marker had been more aggressive, you might have actually backed off early, which could have kept you alive too. You never know.
You'd also lived if you took survivability expert as your 3-point
Oh
skill.
god, there you go again.
Is he wrong though?
Well,
He is not.
no, especially high toxic, especially if he's using heal, then that works really well. All right, thanks for the follow, 6 hour 63. Appreciate that. And now you're just hoping that you can get a few more points, which you should be fine. Oh, toxic with the sub, dude. Thank you, man.
Like, you are very, very lucky here that these enemy CVs didn't work together earlier to kill one of your
Yes.
low HP CVs. And that their Merker wasn't interested in getting into a cap whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
He was more scared than you for some reason.
Yeah.
That's why I love the Kiev. And I
It's
mean,
like
you
neither
just
of you wanted to fight the other.
people are so afraid of you. I love it. And you came in first, so that's a nice game. Hopefully, Moore's Elite, we gave you some good feedback here, yeah?
No, definitely appreciate it. Like I have way more understanding of the line. Yeah, I would definitely swap out. Go away from the concealment build.
Mm-hmm.
Just habits from again the other lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, go for heal. If you need to get into the gunboat mindset, just drop concealment entirely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's what I was gonna do.
default
I was
put
gonna play it
yourself.
like you said earlier, or whoever said earlier, the French gun line, the
Mhm.
gunboat line.
Yeah, I mean it's the same deal.
And use the XP to get your gun upgrade. The range
Yeah.
upgrade.
Yeah, open watering more is a good idea in this ship.
All right.
I love the line too. I love the Tashkent more than the Kiev, but they're close.
So I think the
I like the
difference.
Udaloy more than the Tashkent. I'll throw that out there.
Oh god.
Udaloy is the worst tier 9 chip in the game. Like that piece of
Skill
No.
issue.
I agree with Toxic there. That is 100% a skill issue.
That is a you problem.
I will take the extra heal and the higher speed over a smoke.
I'll take useful torps, guns, handling, and the
Oh, yeah.
consumables any day.
Yep,
The handling
exactly.
is pretty much the same between
Udaloy turns quite a bit better, especially at lower speed. I think that's the main difference, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the guns on the Tashkent are better than the ones on the Udaloy.
They're like the same.
So you went up north. We were talking about that. Wield the Beast, thanks for the follow. I think with 8 though, people don't think the Kiev is that good of a ship. Kiev is really like a tier 8.5 or 8.7.
Yeah, Kiev's great.
And Tashkent is a tier 9, 9.2.
Yeah.
So I mean they're both really good ships, I would agree. I love them both.
I put Tashkent at 7.8.
Really?
7.8.
Sorry, still not 8.5. She is pretty dang bulky. Like
That is true.
she's too bulky to dodge, and that heal goes by super quickly.
That is something I'm
What do
struggling
you
with
mean
the
is bulky
Tashkent.
dodge? You put on Warships mod in slot 5 and prop mod in slot 4 and you just stop go.
Who needs? I was gonna say, who needs a rudder to dodge? I want to correct that. Like, you don't need a rudder mod at all.
Oh, hello. That's the 5th Moskva I've been fighting today. Well, no matter how much I improve my rudder,
if you're getting shot by something with fast shells, you just stop shooting and leave. Like that's what you do.
Oh, too bad. Too bad the enemy won't let me do that. But yeah,
So-
it's gone so bad I had to use smoke.
I
SAT
paused.
is PR farming. He doesn't know what stop shooting means.
I paused the replay here for a
He's not a
second.
PR farmer. Respect the SAT.
I paused the replay here for a sec because this is a really good opportunity for Moore's Elite to save his Lexington if he doesn't realize it. You could actually be going dead south right here.
Yeah.
I do
Must
I do
resist.
head north and then south. I could have saved a lot more HP for Lexington. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even go dead south. I would go straight towards J1. Go straight towards Lexington and intercept that Westeros.
Yeah. That's I would agree with that.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying
Because
is
you
got this opportunity.
because like if you do that, like you can even keep the island between you and the Duke of York, so the Duke cannot shoot you.
Yeah, you always. I would say in general, you just have to look about how to not make the you're effectively going into the middle is sort of surrounding yourself in a weird way.
Yep.
Yeah. That is where I was like I stopped shooting and I was going dark and then get lit by the CV anyway.
See what you do in the Kiev is you go south, you kill the Vasteras, and then the Duke of York is already dead. You just
Lines
go
are
up the
your
one
friend.
line.
Yeah, if you go down south and the Duke dies and the Westeros dies, then you can go straight back up and kill the carriers.
Bingo.
Or the Merker or whatever is the closest there.
Bingo. Sea Wyvern Joy Cuts final start at 5:30 a.m. 4:30 a.m. for you. I understand. It's a frustration.
What is
If you
that?
want, my plan is going to be to keep my stream going. I'll lurk away tonight, overnight. If you're worried about your drops, park yourself here. When the drops turn on, you'll get your drop. 90 minutes later, done. Easy. When they're not done.
Wow, drop rigging, OMG.
Oh, shut up, you.
I have not watched a single minute of COTS this year, and it feels nice.
Oh, I've watched too many minutes of cuts this year.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, I hope we're giving you some good feedback. I think we have.
No, I appreciate it. That's why I was just throw it up there. Like, I do appreciate the feedback. Like,
Yeah.
having a little more understanding in how the line plays, like, or having understanding of any line you are playing, how they play, definitely helps. Yeah, I didn't think this would be viable for a open water gunboat. So I was like, play like an American destroyer.
See, the nice thing, if you're using your smoke, if you choose to keep your smoke, the nice thing about that is you play it as an open water gunboat, and when the enemy focuses you too hard, you just pop your smoke.
Just disappear, yeah.
And then you're gone. And then, again, you control the next engagement. You control when to open up with your guns again. That could be a minute later. That could be 3 minutes later. In the meantime, while you're deciding, you're also relocating to a different part of the map. That's the beauty that is the ship line.
All right.
And if you use the heal, same thing. You just heal instead of smoking, and then you go dark so they can't shoot you, and then relocate. It's my favorite line. Toxic has been in my clan battle games where I played the Kiev. He knows why it's fun.
I think I have. I actually don't know.
Yes. There were a couple back before when you were still in
tier
K.
8 days, yeah.
Yep. Early on, I said, "Let me play Kiev," and everybody's like, "Oh, fine, Zath." And then I'm like stealth torping stuff.
Akazuki.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what they said. That is exactly what they freaking said. And I said, "No, shut up. Let me play this destroyer." And then there I go stealth torping a battleship or something that's charging me, and they're like, "What the hell did you just do?" I'm like, "Yeah, I killed that. Sorry, you deal with it."
To this day, the Kiev, back in time when it was tier 7, is still the ship that I have caused the most fires in a single game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Not
very
counting
random
any special.
statistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they moved her from tier 7 to 8 was halfway through a ranked battle season, the old ranked, not the current
that was
sprint.
a month after I started playing the game.
That was one of the few ranked battle seasons. It was my fastest ever rank up because I'm like, crap, I need to rank out in this before they take it away from me. And so I ranked out in that, and I loved it. And it was great because just a week or two before that, a certain CC at the time, who is no longer a CC, rhymes with Shamu, said that the Kiev was complete garbage. F tier dog, you know what? And so people were like, why are you taking... Oh my god, we lost because they saw me. What did I do? I got really good at getting into the backfield, causing mayhem, forcing the enemy team to come back and deal with me. And because of that, we won so many games.
Hey,
because
you want to talk about
it.
people being nasty? The only tier 7 I owned at that time was a stock Eisenhower.
Oh god.
It was my first tier 7. I ground my commander out to 19 points using the Restless Fire. Was that what the camos were called?
Yep.
From the Mardi Gras event. And I, in my first ever ranked season, ran like a 65% win rate in a stock and Eisenhower. And
wow.
I got talked so much trash to because, oh, you're not playing a meta I didn't own a meta ship.
That was back in time when you were actually limited and had to play stock ships because getting free XP and grinding through ships
XP was hard. You saved that stuff for the Missouri, man.
Absolutely, you did. Absolutely. Cheers. Anyway, More's Elite, thank you for the replay. We need to move on
thank you for the review.
To the next one. Of course, dude.